Noah Lyles, from timid school student to track showman. The trophies that he won line the halls of the high school that Noah Lyles, future Olympic 100 meters champion and the man who's bid for double gold at the World Championships in Tokyo starts Saturday, attended. In those days, there was little sign of the showman of the track that Lyles would become. The shy young man spoke little, but took in everything. This September, with the summer vacation over at Alexandria City High School in Virginia, enthusiastic voices rang out greeting Miss Patty just as Lyles did 14 years earlier as he and his younger brother Josephus walked these corridors. Now with flecks of gray in her hair, she recalled to AFP that Lyles was a lot more reserved than his brother, who would also go on to become a top-class sprinter. Noah began attending the school, formerly known as T.C. Williams High, at age 14. His athletic prowess soon became the stuff of legend here. His parents, both high-level college athletes themselves but separated as a couple, constantly pushed him to do more and go faster. On the track, Lyles excelled. In the classroom, it was a different story. Lyles found it hard to follow the lessons, hampered by dyslexia and ADHD, attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder, and retreated into his shell. He was the typical student, a little shy at first, because you have to remember, as a junior he's still trying to find himself as a young man, as a high school student, trying to fit in with what's going on around him, said Leslie A. Jones, who combines teaching English at the school with public speaking and theater classes. She encouraged Lyles to express himself, and she gradually saw his confidence blossom. He was an observer. He was looking around him and analyzing everything, she said. In one confidence-building exercise, Lyles brought his starting blocks onto the stage of the school's theater and demonstrated how to set them up. He literally taught us how to get in and out of the blocks at the start of a race, Jones recalled. In another exercise, he unlocked his personality, which at that time was buried inside him according to his teacher, and mimed a Michael Jackson song while performing a dance. It was an early sign of the antics Lyles, who is now 28, would later show in his exuberant entrances onto the track. His mother, Keisha Kane Bishop, passed on her values to Lyles and his siblings, including her religious beliefs. He comes from a great family, a religious family that's grounded in all that is good, and even in high school, his mother approached me to say, "How's he doing? Is he being a good person?" recalled Ralim Shabazz, who has taught at the school for 3 decades. He said Noah was thoughtful and would wait his turn to speak. I would always look at his face, and I could see the wheels turning, like he's a thinker and a planner. Everyone else is talking, answering questions, and is just kind of taking it all in. And when he did speak, it was something profound, but it was rare, Shabazz said. I think that his shyness was probably connected to him really working hard to overcome his learning disability. From calf to bull, Shabazz says he felt a special connection with Lyles that he has tried to maintain. I have such a great love and respect for Noah, because he's someone who shared the struggle, because he was interested in inspiring other people, and that's the mark of someone that has a superior character. The global spotlight really began to shine on Lyles when he won the 200-meter title at the 2014 Youth Olympics in China. At the same time, Shabazz saw Lyles beginning to overcome his educational difficulties, and his marks were improving fast. His work was arcing upward. He was more confident. I told him to go to university, but in all my 30 years, I've never had someone look me in my eye with so much confidence and say, "No, I'm going pro in high school." Lyles' gamble paid off. His first senior world title came in the 200m in Doha in 2019. Lyles later returned to the school to show the excited students his medals. It was an emotional moment for Shabazz, who said he stood back to take in the scene. "I just saw that this calf had become a bull." The stadium lights blaze. The cameras roll. Tens of thousands of spectators roar as the world's fastest sprinters settle into their blocks. In the middle lane, Noah Lyles adjusts his sunglasses, flashes a smile, and strikes a pose as if the Olympic final were his personal stage. He claps to the crowd, points skyward, and then crouches down, his confidence radiating across the track. Seconds later, he explodes out of the blocks, his stride devouring the straightaway, his arm slicing the air, his presence so electric it feels like the race belongs to him before it even begins. But Noah Lyles wasn't always the fearless showman who dances across finish lines and commands global attention. His story begins far more quietly. inside the corridors of a school where a young boy wrestled not with world records but with shyness, self-doubt, and the challenge of finding his own voice. As a child, Noah wasn't the loud, flamboyant personality the world now associates with him. In fact, he was the opposite. At school, he was reserved, often keeping his head down in classrooms where confidence seemed to belong to others. He wasn't the kid eager to raise his hand or the one shouting answers across the room. For a long time, his identity was shaped by introversion, timid, unsure, and almost invisible in the way shy children can sometimes be. Sports changed that. Running gave him a language that words never could. When he stepped onto a track, Noah discovered a rhythm, a freedom. It was as though his body could say everything his mouth couldn't. The lanes became his canvas, each stride a brushstroke, each victory a declaration. But it wasn't an instant transformation. In those early years, Lyles faced setbacks and moments of doubt. He battled asthma, a condition that made every workout a test of willpower. He wasn't always the fastest or the strongest in his age group. What he had, however, was persistence and a spark that, though dim at times, refused to go out. The turning point came when Noah began to see track not just as competition but as performance. He realized something that set him apart from his peers. Speed could inspire, but personality could captivate. Track and field, often criticized for its lack of stars with charisma, was fertile ground for someone who could run fast and entertain. Bit by bit, the shy schoolboy peeled away his old skin. He embraced music, fashion, and art, outlets that gave him confidence beyond the stopwatch. By the time he hit his teenage years, he was no longer hiding. He was experimenting with who he was, not just as an athlete but as a person. His Instagram began filling with bold colors, expressive outfits, and moments that captured his growing belief in self-expression. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.